Hello, beautiful kindred souls, and welcome to my crafting corner. It is Key. We are back with another video for our Forest Falls mini kit series. This is part C for the topper videos where we're doing the painting. Okay, so we did these toppers in previous videos, so you can check those out if you haven't already looked at those. And then we finished this one in the last video with our painted frame there, painted background page. And then I repainted paper for the butterfly because I didn't like the way, the other paper turned out. So now we've got, our paper is dry, and so I'm gonna, it dried a lot darker than, anticipated, I guess. So, which is fine. But now I'm just gonna trace our butterfly here, but doing the back. And I'm just gonna trace half of it, and then I'm just gonna fold it in half so we can get a nice symmetrical finished product. All right, let's see how, it's like brown paper bag on brown paper bag, so it is a little difficult for me to see, but okay. And I did sort of draw it at a natural crease in the brown paper bag, so. All right, I'm gonna cut it this way first. This can be used somewhere else. And then I'm going to fold it along that ridge. It's a natural ridge in the paper bag, so. Okay. All right, this little head's about to be a struggle moment. Okay. Let's open her up, see what she's giving. The head is a little phallic looking, so let's see if we can. Aw, okay. I'm not against. All right. And I'm just gonna put this off to the side because we can certainly use that, in something else. All right, now, oh yeah. So obviously I don't know what's gonna happen here, and if I screw up, I have extra. But I have this gold metallic paint. So I think this would look nice, but we will see. If I can get the daggone plastic off, struggling. Here we go. What are you working on? Are you following along with the mini kit, which you can totally do because you can get it for free by signing up for my email list. Once you sign up for the email list, you get immediate access to the 5 digitals that I'm using for this little experiment. All right, I don't know what I'm doing, so we're just gonna do something. Just need to lighten this up a little bit. It's a little dark. Ooh, that is super liquidy. Like liquid. I know that sounded stupid. It's like it's paint. Intelligent human. Of course it's gonna be liquidy. No, it's like clear or something. It's weird. Okay, there we go. It just needed to be mixed up more. Come on. There you go. Mix that up. Wow, that has a very pungent smell. Wasn't expecting it to be as opaque as it is. It's very opaque. But maybe when it dries, it'll be less opaque. Trying to get like a more wispy finish to the ends. Let's paint that body. Try to move this around a little bit better. Get it. Get some gold on this little body here. Maybe. Well, the shimmer is pretty. Again, I was kind of expecting this to be a little bit less opaque, but that's okay. Just trying to blend out the edges to make it the transition a little bit smoother. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Spent a little bit of time looking at butterflies definitely had the coloring backwards in my first iteration. I had dark stuff on the inside when there's darker on the outside. All right, now let's get our body. This is just a black acrylic pen, and all right, usually the bodies are a little fuzzy, so I'm just gonna see if I can get some texture with the pen. And I am a little terrified to like I'm trying to get different qualities by using different sides of the marker, but it's really, really difficult to predict. Okay. And the gold kind of showing through actually looks really pretty. All right. Okay. Now we're gonna need to draw okay, so I'm trying to, let's see here. Typically there's sort of a darker ridge on this edge, and then it comes about like that. So let's see if we can just sort of blend out. I don't need it to be completely black, but I would like it to be you know, darker. So let's see if we can make that happen. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of doing what I want, so we'll just keep with this strategy. Just take our time. This is gonna be fussy, so grab a tea. Grab a tea, grab a coffee. And then I still have to draw in the veins, which that is going to be an adventure, I think, too. Because they're so fine. And we know that this pen doesn't necessarily like to do things that are fine. So I might have to do this method where I'm sort of dotting around. And then sort of smearing the paint to get less definition. I don't know. I'm gonna try that strategy, see if it works, but this seems to be working okay. So we're just gonna keep working it while it's working for us. Can't leave it too long because then it'll dry into a dot. And we don't necessarily want that, do we? There we go. Okay. I think that looks nice. Let's keep just a little bit more up here. Trying to get rid of this section that's leaky. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to add a little darkness to right kind of in this zone right near the body so that there's a transition between the body and the wing that's a little bit smoother. Nature tends to have quite lovely transitions. So we're going to try to capture that with our dot and smear method. We're just gonna pull in a little bit more this way. All right, so my plan is to kind of get this side to look the way I want and then to do the same strategy on the other side. This isn't quite blending the way I would like. Okay. All right, now these veins that I've been avoiding. Okay, let's see. Well, there's always like a primary vein, like a thicker one that runs sort of through the majority of the wing. this is the end to that. And then there's one at the bottom too. My face is probably all up in the camera because I'm really focused. I would like to make this look nice. That's kind of the primary one, right? And then the rest of them come off of that one. So we'll have like one here, one here. Ooh, that's way darker than we wanted, but got some more strategies that I don't know if they're gonna work, but we'll just get these veins in here and we'll deal with anything else after. And it's like the veins are so fine. All right, so what I'm gonna try to do, and I don't know if this is gonna work. This video should be called, I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm just gonna try to see if I can use my scouring pad to sort of like scrape some of this away. It's gonna obviously scrape all the color away though. So like I said, I don't know if this is gonna yield the result we want, but we're gonna try. We can always add some back into the areas, the black back into the areas that we want. Okay, it is making them sort of fall to the background. I'm gonna try some of that up here too. Yeah. You know what? I'm not mad at it. I think that looks nice. I'm gonna add a little bit of black back here. Scrape that away. So we're gonna add that back. We want that to be nice and dark here at the edge. Oop. Not bad, yeah. All right, now the tricky bit is gonna be getting it symmetrical on the other side. So let's start with the edge, you know. Hoping this will be a little bit more streamlined because I already did it. So I am trying to move a little bit you know, swifter. But I still want it to be as symmetrical as we can get it. It's obviously not going to be perfect because it's me and not nature. All right. Yeah, this video is gonna be a long one because it's so finicky, right? Like, we're working within this very specific, we're trying to get this to look really nice. Now keep in mind, this is gonna be a topper, and so there are other ways to do this, right? I just wanted to like be extra and paint something, but you could absolutely find a topper online or whatever. Like if you're just doing a personal project, you can just find a butterfly online. In a lot of the kits and stuff that I purchase, there are fussy cuts and stuff like that. So there are other methods and strategies in which to get a really nice butterfly topper. I'm just being extra, and by being extra, you know, you're making your own work of art. So for example, if this was for you or something like that, it's actually kind of nice to have a piece of the project that you created, right? All right, and now we're gonna do where the body is, right? We're gonna try to smooth this little transition a little bit. Try to get it before it dries. Try to get the acrylic before it dries up, which it actually does dry up, or it dries relatively quickly, but there is that little bit of gap of space of time that it's still a little wet, and you can smear it, good, better, and different. I've smeared it and not wanted to. Like I've been writing text or something like that, then you move too fast and it gets smeared all over the place. But in situations like this, where we're trying to get, you know, a little bit of something, a little bit of smear, it actually works out okay. I'm gonna pull it out just a little bit just to try to get it similar to the other side in the middle. All right, that is okay. Now our veins. Okay, so we're gonna have a primary vein that's gonna kind of go between these two bumps here. So Stop while I'm gonna hit on that. And we put a primary vein down here. That is definitely wider than I want it to be. Okay, we're gonna put one there, something out, on here. Give it a little scrub. Okay, is that it? Is that our butterfly? It is very dark, but that's okay because this is all very bright. Okay, so I think we're gonna go ahead and get this all put together, and then we will be done. All right. All right, now I have to decide. Do I wanna, where I want my golden leaves. Golden, let me see. Maybe something like this. You can still see some of these leaves down here, and it adds a little bit of visual texture. Okay, so we are certainly gonna put some of our cheesecloth behind. Let us cut out the border. That is very crooked. Something like this. Let's go ahead and ink around. I didn't ink around this one either. Do that while we're here. Okay. All right, let's see. We want, what do we want? What do we want? So I think we just want a little bit peeking out behind this, maybe. I'm okay with it sort of favoring one side over the other side. I still want to see my green, but and then I wanted this to be kind of like that. So if we concentrate it more on the bottom, since we're gonna have the butterfly at the top, and the butterfly is gonna be covering up a lot of that up there. So, but we still want some peeking. We're okay with that. All right, let's see. Okay, we're gonna have to, let's see. This way though. was actually nice. And we can do trimming after we get everything in the locations that we want. We can then probably gonna have to put a little bit of glue behind that to keep it from flailing. We don't want it to flail. We want it to feather, but not to flail. There's a difference. Okay. Ooh. All right, and we're gonna have our lovely little butterfly. And when you figure out where you want this in your journal, you can add antennas by just using like string from like embroidery string or something like that, and just add those in for the antenna. Excuse me. You know what? I didn't try to look for my signature. Here it is. This butterfly flies off the page, so this is definitely a cover moment, unless you have a location in the in your journal where, you know, you can have it favor one side so that it misses the spine, and it's just gonna hang out. It's gonna hang out the edge. Let's see, what do I want? How do I want this to look? I think I'm just gonna like try to center it. And do I want to add any other papers? Or do we just want to? I think I'm just going to leave it here. You can sort of glue it so that you leave the edges open for an introduction of other components later. So I'm just going to put glue on the body and in the middle for now, and then as I see where the wings fall, I'll add more glue to keep the wings, to attach the wings. But and you don't have to glue those all the way down either. It might be nice that they have a little bit of flight. I don't know. I like her though. I think she's cute. There was a lot of finickiness though to get her to look good. Okay. My loves. That's all she wrote. That is all she wrote on this one. Finally, we got our butterfly to act right. And finished now all of our lovely little topper pieces that we can then introduce throughout our projects. So thank you so much for your time, your beautiful energy, joining me on this adventure, assuming you went down this rabbit hole with me. Again, you can get the digitals for free by signing up for my email list. There's a link in the description for that. Subscribe here on YouTube if we're not already connected. Click a like on this video, share your thoughts down in the comments section below. And yeah, thank you so much for your time, energy, and I'll see you in an upcoming message. Bye.